Hello there, this is LKYLUISITO in another video, and this is for butterfly goalies. This is the second video of 3 videos going over the different classes of goaltender for NHL 22. That consists of hybrid, butterfly, and stand-up, but we're going to be talking about butterfly today, and let's get right into it. When one's speaking about butterfly goalies in the EASHL, they're not really highly recommended when you're playing at a high level of gameplay, especially in club and tournaments, but let's go over the definition here and elaborate more on that. Butterfly goalies are excellent at stopping low shots when in butterfly stance. They rely on good positioning and rebound control to stop the puck, but are weak against high shots. Don't expect to have good speed or agility. Sadly, that is true. The butterfly goalie is the slowest build amongst all the goalies player class, but let's go over the basics of butterfly and how to make your goalie stand out and make him pretty good. Go straight into height. The height of your goalie is one of the most important things, including your weight, but going over height here, adjusting your player's height will affect your height and weight rating. So you can see just here on the screen, as I'm making my goalie 6'5" to 5'10", as that's the tallest and shortest you can make your goalie, you can see the quickness and your positioning is getting affected. Making my goalie taller will make him slower, but making him shorter makes him faster, but having him on the 6'4" to 6'5" is probably more preferred. And moving into weight, the same thing with the description. Your weight will affect the height and weight rating below, which will increase or decrease your physical and your skating attributes, which is referring to your quickness and your positioning. Just with your goalie making him more heavier and making him lighter, your speed will get affected and your agility and your rebound control and your vision will be affected as well. But again, this is all based on preference. For me, I like to have my goalie at 190. Need to wait till the end of the video to hear what I have to say about that. With handedness, it's just preference of whether you want your left and right-handed your glove. Left-handed is better just because most people are shooting left. Now let's go into zone abilities. Now the zone abilities for your butterfly goalie consist of 5 X factors. So you have, the first one would be Sponge, which is exceptional at making redirect controlled saves and much more likely to attempt to cover the puck. Sponge is one of my absolute favorite perks as a superstar ability. When using it as a zone ability, I didn't see it too effective per se. Of course, when I was facing shots from the point, I was able to put it in the corner fairly easily, and even redirected shots, I would have more control of which direction it was going. When it comes down to it, there are 2 or even 3 better perks that I'm going to go over here. Now let's move on to the next one. Our very next zone ability will be No Timer. Exceptional save ability and reaction time when facing one-timers. This one is very strong, is probably one of the better perks you want to be using when you're starting out as a goaltender in NHL 22. I would say when it comes to going into that higher tier or even tournaments, this one I would say is probably number 3 amongst the perks I would choose. We still have a few other perks to go over, and I think you have some better options there for you. Moving on to the very next one, we have Dial In. Exceptional boost in reaction time, recovery, and save ability after making 15 saves in a game. This one I didn't find too useful because if you're not playing teams that shoot a lot the puck and they see that you have this X factor, they're going to be shooting the puck less than 15 shots, which will nullify this actual X factor, which is kind of crappy. We don't want that, so this one's going to be my actual last pick. Moving on to the next one, we got Post to Post. Exceptional boost in reaction time, recovery, and save ability when going post to post. This one for a butterfly goalie would be my number 1 pick in my opinion, but again, everybody's up to their own opinion. This one is really great for those cross creases or anything going across your crease in a very short amount of time, even from behind the net. This one does some pretty amazing work and amazing save animation. Moving on to the last zone ability, we have Butterfly Effect. When in Butterfly, exceptional recovery and ability to make save while moving with and against momentum. This one is really fantastic. This one's my absolute favorite perk when it comes to a hybrid build. When using in a butterfly, you are making every single save when it comes to down low, but you're going to be sacrificing up top when it comes to playing against good teams. But we're going to move on to superstar abilities, and this is where we get to the fun part and discuss all these amazing perks here that will make the difference. We're going to be looking over the Reflexes, puck control, and Athleticism. Our very first superstar ability will be Last Stand. Advanced boost in reaction time and save ability on breakaways and penalty shots. This one's always a really good one if you're facing a lot of breakaways and penalty shots in 3s, but for 6s is what we're discussing here. I don't think it's necessary. Moving on to the next one, we have Post to Post. Advanced boost in reaction time, recovery, and save ability when going post to post. This one's quite exceptional for your butterfly build. This is one of my first or second perks to choose from. If you're not using it as your X factor, I would say post to post is your man. Moving on to the next one. With the very next ability ability, we have light work. Advanced save ability and reaction time when facing wrist shot. This one I think is one of your most essential perks for NHL 22. You're facing so many wrist shots and heat seekers and make it snappy, X factors from forwards, and really good shooters. This one really puts in the effort for you. And for Butterfly, I definitely think it's essential because of your getting scored on from the high slot and etc. Moving on to the next ability, you have extra padding. Advanced save ability and reaction time when facing slap shots. This one, I would say if you're really struggling with slap shots, put this on, but when it comes to you being more comfortable, being more intermediate and more experienced, this one I don't think is the right fit. Now moving on to the next one. Now moving into our next superstar ability, we have the no timer. With this one, you have advanced save ability and reaction time when facing one timers. Absolutely fantastic. One of my absolute favorite perks. Again, one of my main picks for hybrid goalie. When it comes to being a butterfly goalie, you can use this as your X factor and it makes a big difference. Using it as a superstar ability is not too shabby as well. Now moving on to the next one here, we have tip jar. Advanced save ability, reaction time, and recovery on deflections. For butterfly, I don't really think we need it because the down low is very covered by your butterfly build on its own. Tip jar I don't think is that very essential. Now we got the butterfly effect. When in butterfly, advanced recovery and ability to make saves while moving with and against momentum. Again, with the X factor, with the butterfly superstar ability, I don't think it's really strongly necessary as your butterfly goalie is very good at covering the down low, but if you feel like you need that extra little bit of boost, not too bad of a choice. Now moving on to our puck control superstar abilities. Key into the first one, we have Handle It. Provides a large energy boost for all skaters on the team after stopping a breakaway or penalty shot. This one I think would be quite good for threes. If you're facing a lot of breakaways and penalty shots in that, then I strongly suggest it. For sixes, I don't think it's quite necessary and you're kind of wasting a spot since you only have two. Now moving on to the next one, Sponge. Advanced at making redirect controlled saves and more likely to attempt to cover the puck. For Sponge here, it is really fantastic perk for you to have. You're really looking to have some control over your goalie and where he's putting the puck. Now moving on to X-Ray. With the X-Ray superstar ability, screens have less of an impact to goalie vision. X-Ray is great on the sole fact that it actually prevents your goalie from being screened and actually helps with your response time when it comes to moving around your own crease and in the zone there. I think this one's a pretty good one. Moving on to our last section here, Athleticism, you have Dialed In. Advanced boost in reaction time, recovery, and save ability after making 15 saves in a game. Again, if you don't face 15 shots, this is basically useless. Now moving on, we have Whirlwind. Provides a large energy boost for all skaters on the team after making 3 saves within 5 seconds. This one I think is very controversial. I've made 4, even 5 saves within that time frame and no one said anything about getting a boost of energy. So this one's really great if you're facing a lot of if you're getting a lot of penalties on your team. Other than that, it's basically useless. Then moving on to the next one here, we have Adventurer. Advanced goalie speed, acceleration, and agility, and puck handling while in free skate. I've messed around with this one in drop-in. It is actually quite hilarious what you can get away with using this perk because your goalie is actually pretty quick, but other than that, it doesn't really help you when making saves. Now moving on to the next one, All or Nothing. Advanced range, accuracy, and recovery when poke checking. This one's really great if you're looking to have a little bit of an edge when it comes to breakaway opportunity against you. As well, as a little secret, it actually helps you with having your 5-hole covered while standing up. A little bit of experimentation with that. That's just my opinion. Now moving on to the very last one here, we have the Contortionist. Advanced save range, recovery, and save ability while in spread B with or against momentum. This one's quite fantastic. The Contortionist is really great if you're looking to make that very last dish effort to make the save, but in NHL 22, you're not really seeing many crazy saves. Moving on to the next section, we got Boost. Now with Boost, you have requirements compared to X factors. So you have a minimal and a current, and you have to make sure your minimal and current all apply to each other cohesively. But now we're going to moving into our boosts. So you have 4 categories: low, hands, quickness, and positioning. With each category, you are going to have +2 to 3 to 4. But for low, you're going to have +2 glove low, blocker low, and 5-hole. The blue and the green have different requirements, and that's basically the only difference between the two. It doesn't really benefit your goalie any differently if you choose blue or green. Now moving on to hands, you have +2 glove high, blocker high, or stick high, whatever you want to call it, and then +4 for passing. Again, this is the same principle. You're going to apply this however you would like and whatever your requirements you need to meet in order to choose whatever boost you want to apply to your build. And now we're going to move on to quickness. Moving on with quickness, you have +2 for speed, agility, and for poke checking. Again, this is all preference at this point. If you want to be a little bit quicker in your crease, you choose agility, and if you chose speed, you'll just be better in and outside of the crease, and then poke checking is just going to give you more of a radius when you're poke checking. Now moving on to positioning, you get +2 for rebound control, vision, and you get +3 for breakaway and recover. Again, this is all preference, and you just need to figure out what is best fits your build. Now lastly, we're going to moving on to attributes. Now starting things off with low, you have 3 different categories here. You have glove low, stick low, and 5-hole, and each of them has a cost you can see for 30 points. You have H and W, which is your height and weight. You can see the -2 on 5-hole is because we made our goalie taller, so it affected that. B would be for boost, so whenever you choose the boost you want to use for your goalie, you'll see that applied there. And the R rating would be the rating for each position. So again here, when you're putting the levels up and down, you only can go +5 or -5. You can't do either or, even with boost. So seeing here, you can see that I applied everything to 90. Might as well. 90 is a pretty good fit, but we're gonna make everything 90 there. And again, with all these points here, you'll see that both the glove and stick, high and low, it's just your reflex speed and your accuracy when making the save is the most important things to make sure you have it to how you want it. And moving on to hands, we have glove high, stick high, and passing. For our goalie here, we're going to be making it 88 for glove and stick high, and the passing we're going to deduct it so then it balances everything out. And then with quickness, we have speed, agility, and poke check. With the speed and agility, the speed works outside and inside the crease, while agility is just helping your movement within, moving different directions within the crease. And then the poke check, it just increasing the value of that will make your goalie stick have a bigger radius. Now with rebound control, vision, breakaway, and recover, you have with rebound control, this one is helping you control the possession of the puck when you're receiving the shot and how to control the direction of it being saved. Vision is to help you with your screens. Breakaway, it helps with your reflexes when facing a breakaway attempt. And with recover, it helps you when you want to recover after a shot or getting out of a vulnerable position when you are trying to get back into position. So with the build we're going to be choosing, we're going to have 83 overall for rebound control, 90 vision, 83 breakaway, and 88 recovery. You finally made it to the lucky build. For this butterfly class, you'll be 6'4", 190 pounds with the zone ability, no timer, and then you have light work and x-ray as your superstar abilities, and you have boost, which will be reflex, speed, and quick recovery, and you're gonna have to pause and look over the attributes to see what you like and don't like. Please leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and let me know how you think about this video for the butterfly build. But until next time, take care.